What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hanlon, aka the Laptop Legend, and today, day trading, I made
$3,529.41. Yay!
And for those of you who don't know, that means $3,529.41. Now, if you can't tell, you can't really tell anymore. We're twinning today.
Yeah.
It happened to work out. I swear we didn't plan this at all. But today I want to talk about what stocks you guys need to be watching for tomorrow, because we had some pretty good opportunities today. That's how I was able to make $3,400, $500. I always forget. But there's going to be just as many opportunities tomorrow, and I want you guys to be prepared. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what you guys need to be focusing on, what I'm going to be focusing on, and trading to hopefully make several $1,000s tomorrow. So stick around for that. Like this video if you haven't already. Like it for the twinning. If you want my sister to come on again. Just kidding. She's my wife. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on the other side. Alright guys, so if you'll recall from my last video, my two top tickers were AABB and AURI. And unfortunately today, AURI, even though it held and closed above VWAP today, it literally was just disgusting. Just no opportunity whatsoever. And this is just another example of why you don't want to turn into a bag holder. It's sad that this didn't see any type of a bounce, no movement whatsoever. I don't know that it's completely over because, again, on MDMP, a couple days after it kind of did something like this, it ended up perking back up. So this is still one you for sure want to keep in your watch list, but just kind of a very disappointing day on this one. Now, AABB, this did finally what I was expecting it to do. And it was weird because it gapped up. They put out some news, and it started off as another big green day, which was going to be the 7th green day in a row. Got as high as pretty much 60 cents, and then it turned into this little wedge here where it made higher lows and lower highs, and it did that a couple times today. And imagine it's basically like this, and whichever way it goes, once it breaks that wedge, you can see it kind of picks a direction and then ends up going a lot farther in that direction. So that's what happened here today, and this turned into a massive panic. And this is the one that I was kind of waiting for, kind of hoping for, and pretty wild. We ended up going from 60 cents all the way down to what, 36 cents? That was kind of low here on this panic. This was kind of a weird print. It was printing many cents under the bid. It was at like 38 cents, and it was printing 35 cents, 36 cents. Very, very strange. I'm not sure why I did that, but I tried to get filled down here and could not get filled at all. And then I ended up missing some of this bounce just because it was weird with these prints, but I took advantage of pretty much all these fake out dips here. Made a little bit on pretty much all these, and caught the bottom here. Not too much size, didn't take advantage of most of this move, but I still think AABB is a very good setup for trading tomorrow. And here's why. Typically speaking, when you get your first red day, after a bunch of green days, you get a nice gap down. And I could see this thing, if I zoom in here, I could see this thing potentially seeing another big panic. Now, it's weird because this one had a red day and then actually gapped up and went into a big panic. So it could also do that. It could also gap up and go into a big panic. This one actually tends kind of to gap up. It kind of looks like after red days. Now that I think about it. So maybe it gaps up and goes into a bigger panic. I'm not sure. Maybe it just gaps up and bounces tomorrow. But I feel like because of how it closed on the day, if you go in here, it literally closed like, it bounced a tiny bit off, but it closed pretty much right at the low of the day, 34 cents here. So I think this definitely could maybe see a little bit of a gap up and then go into a nice panic. And morning panics, hopefully, are cleaner. Typically, they get more volume than those midday panics. So if we get a panic like this out of the gate, I'm going to be looking to dip by that thing and hopefully make a few $1,000s on that. So AABB, definitely my #1 watch for tomorrow. If they keep coming out with good news, potentially could continue. But, that's my plan on this one. And I'm sure I will be trading it at some point tomorrow. So I'll be calling that live out in the Discord. Again, link is in the description for that. AABB, that's the main one that I did today. My best ticker on the day. I made $1,427 on that today. BEGI, this was one of those kind of, big range stocks that you get in early and you make a little bit and then you just kind of cut it and it fades off the rest of the day. So probably not one that I'm watching for continuation tomorrow. KNOS, this had news in the middle of the day. Again, I called this one out in the Discord, and if you get in right after the news, you can make a little bit of money on these. So I got in a very good entry here. I got in like 960 something, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if it says my entry there. Yeah, 96. I got in at 96. So I got in right here. Didn't get as many shares. I wanted like 27,000 shares from 96, and I sold up in here. So it's pretty nice trade there. And this is just another one, guys, you always want to have on your watch list, because there are going to be stocks that I have on my watch list tomorrow that I don't know of right now, but they'll put out news midday. And again, if you can get in right after the news comes out and just ride that wave up, you can get pretty big size, because kind of worst case scenario, if you get in right when there's news and you're one of the first people in, worst case scenario, it doesn't really move and you just kind of sell right there. Nothing bad happens. But best case scenario, you make $1 a share on 10,000, 100,000 shares, and I mean it adds up. It adds up, because we also had that happen today on OZSC. And you'll see here 11:34 they announced new corporate advisor. So they hired Dr. Martello. And I guess he's had a long and successful history managing relationships in the government industry, including whatever, So, I mean, they got a new hire. Doesn't seem like that insanely great of news, but I believe that happened right here. Yeah, 11:34. And I ended up getting in, I'm not sure how many shares I got. I think I got 100,000 shares right here at 12.8. And I just sold into that spike. I think I sold right here, 100,000 shares. And I mean, 12.8. 100,000 shares. I made like $355. I mean, it's pretty decent. I ended up selling up in here. So, again, those breaking news plays, guys, they're absolutely great, and it seems to be working very well in this type of market. This is one that I made a little bit on. I ended up giving back a good amount because the executions were horrible on this. But this was some news that we had in the morning. Someone actually called this out in the Discord. Shout out to them. I forget you guys your name, but I mean, I appreciate you calling this out, because NFT news in an OTC stock. NFTs are really hot right now, and obviously, anything that puts out an NFT press release is going to be running. So we saw this, in the morning. They called this out a few minutes before market open, and it spiked right at open, then faded down off, and then came back and spiked even higher, but kind of rejected that breakout because it pulled right back and never broke that. But I mean, definitely some opportunities on this. It was just very difficult. I had a limit buy above the price that it was trading for about 2 minutes. And I didn't get filled, so I finally canceled it, and then I got filled after that, and then it ended up tanking down, and I ended up cutting market sell. Took me like another minute and a half, 2 minutes to get out market sell. So I've got to be careful on tickers like this, guys. You got to know the ticker, because if you can't get in and out quickly, it's not worth trading. No matter how good the news is, because you're just going to get screwed if you can't sell when you need to sell. So. Just keep that in mind on tickers like this. Maybe it's different on other brokers, but on Fidelity for sure, it was tough, and I think we had some other people who were having some issues in the Discord with that as well. DSCR, this one held up its gains very nicely, so this is probably a great continuation play. Honestly, this could have been an overnight hold. I'm not a fan of holding stocks overnight. I'm really not. But it closed near those highs. Some nice consolidation all day long. I would not be surprised to see this rip over a penny tomorrow and potentially go on a much bigger run. If you look at the 1 year chart, I mean, it's a nice breakout. Now, this is several green days in a row. It is several green days in a row, so maybe tomorrow it kind of goes exponential and then fades and breaks down below the where it closed, here. So goes red on the day. I'm not sure. I mean, it could pull an AABB. You saw what AABB did. Again, so AABB started off green on the day, gapped up and spiked, and then it turned red on the day. So it could definitely do one of those things, but definitely on high watch. DSCR is a big watch for me. These are all OTC stocks. ENZC has had a nice little tiny dip buy at open, nice little spike up there. I might have ridden some of that momentum, but overall, this is one of the stocks that I pretty much trade every single day, because there's always some type of little dip or some type of momentum you can get in there. TSMPD, this one actually had a nice little spike and a close, nice little run up here. I forget exactly where I traded it. Basically, if it dips too much, I just take a stab with some tiny shares, like 1,000 shares, and I sell it once we get a little pop. That's pretty much all I do on this. So that's how I trade this. If we get a massive panic out of this, that'd be nice. But again, I think we have that new. I mean, there's 3 catalysts coming up. I think the ticker change is happening this Friday, if I'm not mistaken. We got the audited financials coming up soon, and the app is releasing soon. Again, as I talked about in the previous video, I think it would have been a decent swing from maybe the $3 area. At this point, again, I can't do it. But definitely still gonna be opportunities for day trading. So keep this one on your watch list. Very big watch. WSGF. This one was actually running a lot, kind of out of the gate. This is one that I keep on watch for midday news, but this one was just running a lot. I'm not even sure if there was news on this one. I don't even know. but you know, worth trading stocks like this. So keep this one on your watch list always. ALYI, this one, I ended up getting screwed on this, and I only made $9.50 because I had an order that I forgot to cancel, apparently. But that happened multiple times today, so I'm not sure if Fidelity was having issues. But I ended up having, you know, a 200,000 share buy order, like it might have been like right here, and I ended up getting filled, and then I'm stuck, you know, down here trying to get out. Maybe it was on this one. It might have been on this one, like right here, trying to get out here. So just keep that in mind, guys. You got to be very careful. Always make sure to cancel your orders. Don't make a fool out of yourself. ICBU, there were some opportunities on this one today. A couple of dip buys. Overall, pretty choppy though. And you know, that's kind of the main NASDAQ watches. I mean, not NASDAQ. I'm about to talk about NASDAQ. So that's the main OTC watches. The main NASDAQ watches, guys, there were some NASDAQs that were going absolutely crazy. So if NASDAQs are your cup of tea, definitely stick around for this part, because now we're getting into it. You know what? Actually, it's probably easier if I just drag that on my screen up here. Make sure I can see it all. So there were some crazy ones. TKAT, this one has been moving 4 days, squeezed in after hours. This thing is going absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, this is a low float. This is going to be a great short at some point. Look at how overextended this thing is. You know, maybe I'll go 15 minutes. I mean, this thing it went from $3. I mean, it's at $60 now. I mean, that's insane. That's what? Well, I guess it was 3.9. But I mean, if it were $3, it'd be a 2,000% increase. That's crazy. I mean, stock is up a ton. And I feel like there's more potential to the short side, but it could definitely keep squeezing. And I mean, it could go to 100. It could break 100 easily. Wouldn't surprise me. It's kind of feeling like a KOSS type of move. And we know what that stock can do. So this one is a big watch. OCG, yeah, this is a sympathy play to that. Another NFT play. And pretty much all these NFT NASDAQs are going insane, guys. They're all going insane. They're still going insane. NFTs are the hottest thing right now. So any stock that has NFT news, you probably want to be trading it. That's the hottest thing. OCG is one that I was shorting a while back, and it's still running as a sympathy play. I think JFIN, also same type of deal. This one was running a lot today. Lots of room on this. I mean, up 100% on the day, over 100%. So if you guys like NASDAQs, be trading the hottest stocks because there's so much room for profit. You only have to take a tiny chunk and you're set. This one, I mean, this was all up in pre-market and then pretty much did not do anything all day. I mean, not really anything great. It broke those pre-market highs and then just rejected that breakout. So, I mean, a couple... You see where it cracks VWAP, though? That's why VWAP is such an important thing. There's a lot of stop losses there. So, I mean, if you get in for a crack of VWAP, that's a 1 minute candle. That's insane. I mean, that candle was as high as 8.38, and the low is down at 7. That's a $1.40 candle, 1 minute candle. That's insane. What it probably did was it broke out past this level, past 8.25. So people were buying the breakout, and then just a ton of short sellers just all dumped on it at once. It smacked down so far that it triggered all the VWAP stop losses and then broke all the way down. I mean, that's insane. That is a huge red candle. So you got to be careful with stocks like this, guys. You got to be careful. I mean, you get in 1,000 shares for that breakout there, and suddenly you're down $1,500. I mean, that's crazy. No type of bounce to be able to get out. I mean, it literally does not bounce at all off of that. It doesn't bounce at all off of that. I mean, it never comes back above that level. So that's crazy, guys. You got to be careful with stocks like this. This is why I don't like NASDAQs, because, I mean, they can move so fast. They can move so fast, plus the halts. But, I mean... If you're into this stuff, there's definitely ways to make money. There's opportunities to make money. We had SUMR. This was up from 13 to whatever. That didn't have a ton of volume though. That had only 1 million volume on the day. RCON, a couple other stocks that were moving. This held a nice uptrend, pretty much all day long. Kind of broke it a little bit towards the end, but nice. YVR. This is another low float that was moving. I'm not gonna be trading these stocks though, guys. I'm really not gonna be trading these stocks. IMTE, this was another low float stock that was moving. This went crazy right into close. So honestly, my biggest watch is going to be those OTCs. And for me, guys, I think it's mainly about developing something that a strategy that you're comfortable with and that you have an advantage over the market at. And this is something I always tell the guys in Discord. If you're not consistently profitable yet, then don't scale up. And you only need to focus on, one setup or 2 setups. And once you can be consistently profitable at that, just focus on that, and eventually you'll be able to scale up. So the reason I don't really trade NASDAQs too much is it doesn't really work for my trading style. And I know that about myself. And I know that when I trade NASDAQs with any type of size, I always take a big loss. So I know not to do it at this point. It's not what I'm good at. And just because it's not what I'm good at doesn't mean that it's not what you're good at. Some people are more patient. Some people are better at trading choppy NASDAQs. So keep that in mind. You don't always have to do exactly what I do because there's a lot of different trading styles. There's a lot of different strategies that are profitable. I don't know everything about trading, not even close. But I think it's cool when you guys can take a leaf out of my book, take some of the ideas that I give you and then use that and use it to develop your own strategy that's slightly different, that has variations on what I do. And that's how I learned. I took a piece from here, piece from here, piece from here, and I put it all together, and now I'm a profitable trader, and it just feels cool. So, I'm not the only person who is a profitable trader, and you guys can learn from a lot of different sources, but I think if you really take the time to focus on the best setups that you are personally good at, and you stay disciplined enough to size down and keep your losses small, the sky's the limit. The sky's really the limit, guys. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed the feature of my sister. Just kidding. Not my sister, my wife. I forget who always comments she's my sister, but I found that funny. But yeah, let me know if you guys want me to have her on again. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, let's grow better together.
Preguntar, bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.